Yo, what's going on? Hold on, just waiting for the stream to pop up. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and get out of this project. I'm blind. Close project. All right, so today we're gonna be making the backpack plugin. So I'm starting a series called speed coding plugins, and we've already uploaded one of them, which was this Autosmell plugin right here. But I figured it'd be cool to also not only just have that recording of the speed coding, but also have the live stream of me actually going through it. So I haven't coded this plugin before. I just kind of thought of the idea. I'm like, this would be cool to make, and I'm gonna kind of show you guys my process of me thinking through it, and I'm gonna run into roadblocks and issues like you always do, and I'll show you guys like the natural process and like how I get through that. So let's go and get started. So making a new project. Well, you guys can't see all the pop-ups. Hold on. Let me change the source real quick. Give me a second. There we go. All right, now you guys can see everything. All right, so we're gonna call this backpack, and we're not gonna create a repository plugin Spigot 1.21 backpack, and press create. And then now, to make sure this is in the correct area, it should be. Wait, did I make this in the correct area? Hold on. Project structure, speed coding plugins back. Okay, yeah, I think it is in the criteria, so I could push these. Okay, just want to make sure my Git was set up correctly. All right, Alessio. What's up, Alessio? All right, let's go and get started. All right, so we're gonna do this off of a manager class. Backpack manager. And first, we're gonna have a load backpack. So public inventory load backpack. We need to return that inventory. Come on, import class. Based off of a UUID. I guess we'll just make them all separately and then actually implement them in a second. So upload backpack and save backpack. Public inventory save backpack. And we're going to need a way to access the plugin, I know, because we need the config. So private final Java plugin. Come on. And there's the constructor. And then I guess let's go and just work on loading the backpack. So first we're going to need to make sure that the backpack structure exists. So file is equal to new file plugin.get data folder, which just takes you to the folder inside of like the plugins, like your big plugins, and then whatever the plugin's called, like backpack, and then it'll take you to that folder. And then you want to add a directory for /backpacks. And then we're going to add, I guess, we have their UUID, so we can add their UUID. So we'll separate them by like each UUID of every player to string plus, and then just .yml. So this is the file that we'll be creating for each user. And then let's create the inventory as well. So equal to bucket.create inventory null what is it? The space is next. Come on. Owner. We create inventory. I need the inventory owner. The type. That's only for 2 constructor. I think it's just the size next, is not? Yeah, okay. Size. And then the title, which we can call backpack. It'll make it easier for us in the later when we're checking for the name. Hold on, I'm trying to have my OBS open up another monitor so we can see. Okay, that should help. One sec. All right. I guess let's make sure the file exists. Let me just return inventory so it stops airing out. Make sure the file exists. So if not file.exists, we're gonna exit out early. So we're gonna go return the inventory. Try and I just got a new keyboard today, so this is code a motorcycle plugin next. I bet I'll make plugins in Minecraft. Or I mean motorcycles in Minecraft. Add my pro here to Minecraft. We need to catch the errors, so catch exception e.print stack trace. And the reason why I'm surrounding this is because like anytime you deal with files, it's always good to catch any issues because files naturally are going to have a lot of issues, especially when you're like accessing them and like you don't handle the cleanup properly. It's always good to put them in a try to catch statement. So yeah, so first we're gonna need to get the YAML configuration. So YAML configuration config is equal to new YAML configuration. It's fine if you create one every call. You could probably keep it in a static variable, but it's fine. Config.load file. And then now, in order to load the backpack, we're just gonna loop over their file that they have. And add that to the inventory that we created. So for int I is equal to 0, starting at 0, I is less than the inventory dot get size I plus plus, and we're going to create an item stack for each item that they have. No, not that. Autocomplete was not right. Stack is equal to config dot get item stack add items dot and then plus whatever the I that we're at, because this is how we're going to store it. Is we'll just store it in their UID as like literally items dot, and then it'll be like items dot 0 is equal to material dot dirt, and then like items dot 0 or dot 1 is equal to material dot whatever it is. Obviously, it says more metadata because it has to have how many of each item and all, but that's essentially how it's gonna work. And then we're just gonna set that item in the inventory I stack. So at the ith position of the backpack, we're gonna put that stack there. And then we have the catch, just separate that. Turn the inventory. Okay, I think this is everything. So files, get new file. The plugin folder / backpacks, UID get string YAML, and then we create that inventory size 27. We can increase this, but let's do 27. Title of the backpack, and then if they don't have a file, that means they don't have anything saved in their backpack. So we're just gonna return this empty inventory, and that's gonna be their backpack. We load up the configuration, set each item in the inventory to what's in the configuration, and yeah, it's gonna tell me to add a more robust thing, right? Show some more robust logging. Doesn't it have a quick fix too? No, okay. What it means by this is to add a get serve. What is it? It's been a minute. Get plugin dot get server dot get logger dot, and then just like dot warning the message. So e dot get message. Is that not what it's referring to? I guess not. Doesn't the plugin also have a get logger? Plugin.getLogger.warning get message. I'll have to see what that's. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just an error, or not an error, just a warning, but still. Okay, let's work on the save backpack now. So the save backpack, fairly similar process, except just not with the top part. We're going to try to open. Like I said, we're dealing with files. We want to keep that with a catch exception e.print stack trace, and then we'll add a plugin.getLogger.warning e.getMessage. Create the YAML configuration again. I guess we could like pull this part out into a file manager like util class, but it's fine. We're only doing it twice, so it's not that big of a deal. If we really care about optimizations, we couldn't, but it's chill. 1 second, let me just make the chat bigger. Whoops, not that. Come on. Okay, it's fine. I'll fix it later. All right, YAML configuration. Oh wait, hold on. We do need to get the file first. File. Let's go to new. Okay, we're just gonna autocomplete all that. But yeah, plugin data folder that backpacks UI string uuid.toString plus the YAML, the same thing that's up there. YAML configuration, configs, new YAML configuration, same thing we did up there. And then now, once again, we're just gonna loop over everything. Is less than. This will have to be the size of the inventory. So I guess when we call save backpack, we can pass in the inventory because we'll have the player. Yeah, let's just take in the inventory and then just do inventory.getSize I++ config dot not get set, and then like I said, we're just gonna do items dot plus whatever the I is, and then we're gonna do that at inventory.getItemI. So taking, I guess let's just go over this real quick. So in the backpack, we grab the file. I guess the last thing we need to do config.save file, just to save that file. And so we're grabbing the file, grabbing the YAML configuration, and then we're going to loop over the whole inventory size that we're passing in, and we're going to set at each config the items dot plus I. So like I said, that'll be like items dot 0 is equal to, and then whatever the item is. So however this gets serialized, I guess we could look for the what is it called? The toString method in here. No, not the inventory class. Whoops, that's not true. The item. So this returns an item stack. If I go to that class, I need to jump to source toString. So it'll append this string builder that says item stack, curly braces, and then a space X and the amount that it actually has as well. And then a comma, the metadata, and then end it with curly braces. So this is what we would be appended to the YAML class, and I'll show you guys that after. Let's move this. Yeah, so that's save backpack, load backpack. Let's make a command to use the backpack. So new, where's it at? Package commands. Inside of commands, we're gonna make backpack command, and this is going to implement command executor. Implement that. Let's change this to sender. S is not, that's label, and args. And so on the command, we're gonna, well, first I guess let's check if sender instance of a final player, make this lowercase. If it's not, whoops, if not, sender instance of final player. This is how I do my check. And I'll say why in a second. Then we're gonna say sender dot send message. Only players can run this command. So the reason why I do it this way, so it's the main statement is sender instance of final player. So the base sender instance of player. Checking if the sender is a player. If it's not, so we're not in the whole thing. But the reason why I add final is because we can, well, first of all, final, the player won't be modified. unless if we're like adding an item to them. I always final it unless I don't need to, and then we add player. We actually did player in it here, so that way we don't have to come in after and say, hey, player is equal to, and then cast player sender, because this is redundant. We already have it done up here. We already have access to player right here. It just makes it a lot easier. But yeah, that's why I do this one. But yeah, just check and make sure that's actually a player send this and not like the command block of the console. Okay, so now we're going to just say blinking. So okay, we have, I guess we need to load the backpack and then return the inventory. So we're gonna say player dot no usage. I should be able to use this. Am I just not just wrong? Instance of, it's because I have a final. Hold on. I could have been wrong on everything I just said. Alright, I don't think that's correct. Instance of player. Instance of player. There we go. And now we have to grab player. Player is equal to cast player of the sender. And now we can say player dot set inventory. Not set inventory, open inventory. Open inventory. The inventory from backpack manager. Nope. Backpack manager dot, and this needs to be turned into static, so I can run it from wherever. Oh wait, but it's static. I'm about access to plugin because that's a private. How should we do this? Because the backpack manager is only. Okay, so the issue is I need to be able to load this backpack from a different file called backpack command. I mean, I guess I could just. This is what we'll do. Backpack manager. BM is equal to new backpack manager. Because we have the constructor, and then we're going to pass in the player. Is that all it takes? What does the constructor take? Oh, the plugin. That's the way that we access the plugin. Okay. That's what we'll do. We'll just add a public Java plugin get plugin. Let's make it easy on us. Return this. This needs to be static, doesn't it? We can't return this in static. And this won't work, will it? If we do backpack.get plugin, because this is referred from a non-static context.
Beautiful.
What's up?
I haven't seen you.